Hi everybody, welcome back subscribers, and I hope you're a new viewer to my channel right now and you're clicking on this video just because you're curious, and I would love to encourage you to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything and it does a whole lot for me and for the channel. So if you like the video you see today, go ahead and click the buttons, you know what I mean? Anyway, this is about welding, and the most important point I want to make before I start is I am a first-time welder. I have been, shall we say, intimidated by this for a long time. I've always wanted to try it, but there's a lot to welding. Anyway, this is one of those situations where I have accumulated enough things that I want to try and weld that buying the equipment is less expensive than paying somebody else to do it. So it's worth giving it a shot. Now, I want to tell you, I am still intimidated by this. So as we go through this, this might be a lengthy video. I want to take you step by step because I'm sure there have to be some guys out there that are just like me that are thinking the same thing. Man, I'd really like to learn to weld, but I just don't know where to get started. So we are going to start by opening up some of these boxes, and these boxes have been sitting in my garage for months. That's how intimidating it is for me. I really have kind of been putting it off. So it's a cold, snowy day today, and it's a good time to get into the workshop, and it's a good time to open these boxes. So let's start first off with the welder, okay? Let's get this out of the box. Okay, I got everything else cleared off here because we're going to start with just this. Let's take it one step at a time. Remember, I'm doing this for people that have never done this before, like myself, and this might even be interesting for people that are veteran welders, someone that has done this all their life, to see what one of us goes through and maybe nostalgic for the time you first started. So I chose the Flux welder because I didn't really want to get into MIG and TIG welding with the big tanks and everything. I wanted something that was small that I could store because I'm not, at this point, doing this all the time. So this is a good place to start for me. Now this also, from what the description said, can do stick welding, MIG welding, and TIG welding. Okay, but I'm just starting with flux welding. We're not going crazy yet. All right, so you got the welder itself, and in the box, instructions, alligator clamps. This looks like this is the, yeah, that's positive, negative. I don't know. I'm going to read the instructions. And then this is the actual welding tip and welder itself there. All right. Okay, I've gone through the instructions, and it's nice. They give you a picture right here that shows all different scenarios and shows you where to connect your different attachments. So I'm going to start by just going through these instructions exactly for flux core welding. Right here, they give you step by step on how to get started. Insert the MIG torch into the MIG torch and screw in clockwise. Insert the MIG torch into the MIG torch and screw in clockwise. So what they're really saying, this is your MIG torch. Insert it to this black, and there's even a picture there where the MIG torch goes in. Insert and turn clockwise. All right, it just takes about half a turn. I don't think that has to be super tight. So that's connected now. In this box, they also give you a couple, I assume these are just extra tips. So I'm going to put those to the side. Next, you're connecting the work clamp to the positive lead. And once again, you can't get this wrong. Big plus sign there. And this is the work clamp with the red end to it. Makes sense. Plug that in there and turn it the same. Seems like that's tight. Okay. So our next step here is to install the welding wire and then turn the power switch on. Now there are several warnings in this book about being electrocuted, and it says not to open the machine and work inside the machine with the power on. Install the welding wire and then turn the power switch on. I suppose it's, well, let's put the wire inside. Okay, so this is the side of the machine that you install the welding wire. Open it up. There's a little piece of plastic. Okay, read the instructions again. So I took this paper off the welding wire, throw the garbage away. And now this comes, it has little pieces of plastic. Anyway, I'll take this off of here. Whoa, everything kind of spring-loaded there. So that's it. Well, according to this picture, I should have that, the wire, and then that. So this is the part here, so the wire goes on next. Which direction does it feed? There's this little piece here that's tucked under the paper. There we go, just rip that. I guess. Oh, I see, it goes through a little hole. That wire goes through a little hole in the spool. Oh, okay, that's enough of that. All right, slow down. What the heck? All right, be back in a second. That's a part the veterans are probably gonna get a kick out of. If you've been welding before, you're probably looking at that going, oh, watch out, it's gonna, oh, well, it did. Okay. All right, let's look in the description here. Is there anything that shows you how to feed maintenance? Nope, we go straight to maintenance. So you got to go back and they give you diagrams and instructions on how to feed the wire. All right, so this has to go on with the paper facing in. And then the washer. Nope. Ah, that's what this is. So then this then the spring. This ought to be fun. Then the washer. Hold that in place and get this back on and tighten it. There we go. Okay, so that is a braking system to probably prevent it from unspooling itself like it did. So we're going to tighten it down pretty good right now. Okay, now this is supposed to feed. Oh, okay, this comes open. Okay, so I need to disconnect this. All right, disconnect this because it has to come out the front first. Okay, this needs to be very straight. So we're going to just snip off this end. Won't flying somewhere. Make sure that's nice and straight. And then try and feed that through there. There it goes. That's got to get in those wheels. It wants to turn and come out of there. I know it's got to go between. What's this for? Oh, that's interesting. The whole thing opens up. I wonder why. Does this come off? Yes, it does. Huh. Okay, that must, aha. Now it's got to go through this hole too. This is not easy. There it goes. All right. Now it's supposed to come until it protrudes. Okay, you just keep feeding it until, there it is, protrudes out of the front. Okay. Then replace the tensioner over the wire. So that's this thing here. Put that on there. I suppose you screw that down a little bit. Probably not too tight. I'm gonna loosen that just a hair. I was just doing that just to, okay, that seems like it moves pretty freely. So now I'm replacing this and making sure that little wire goes right in the middle there. Push it in and give it a turn. Done. Okay, so that's definitely something that I'm gonna get better at as I go. That was the first time I ever did it. I learned to be careful with the wire, that it doesn't spring all over the place. I know where the wire is supposed to feed through. Making sure that wire is straight. Don't try and save that little piece of crimped end that they had in the original packaging. Just cut it off so it nicely and easily goes through the feed. Now, I think it's time to turn it on. I am using an extension cord for this. This is a 14 gauge wire connected to the unit, so I'm using a 12 gauge extension cord. Should be fine. Turn the unit on. All right, I hear the fan. It's on. It's interesting there's no indicator light here to tell that it's on. I thought that would illuminate or something. So now I think the next goal in this whole process is to get the wire to feed out of the end of this. So you're supposed to pull the trigger until it comes out of the end. Okay, back to the instructions. I don't know if it's actually feeding. I'm using a lifeline here. Phone a friend. Oh my gosh, you're right. This part, right here, it connects right here. I can see where it connects. They don't say anything about that in the instructions. I mean, there's nothing, there's literally nothing. I'm going down word for word through the instructions and they say nothing about this little lead. Okay, all right, back at it. Okay, thanks, bye. Okay, I'm so glad I called my friend because this thing, I thought it maybe was a cap that covered, I didn't know what it was because you know why? The instructions don't say anything about this. They just say connect it. Okay, so guys, this is exactly why I'm making this video because I can't find any YouTube videos where, I mean, it really breaks it down to this type of stuff. So this, got my little wire here. I'm gonna feed that in carefully and just turn that clockwise just a little bit. And now this piece obviously connects right here. There we go. I can hear the wheels moving. It's feeding the wire. Oh, but so the wire is all springy on the inside. I got to make sure this doesn't, hold on just a second. I'll be right back. See, because I had that issue where it just unspooled. Now I've got a lot of loose wire trying to cause problems in here. So I think I need to tension this a little bit more. I just want to take up that slack that was all uncoiled. I can hear it. Boy, it's a lot of wire going through until you get to the end. You may need to take the tip off. I wonder if it's stuck. So now I'm going to take this tip off. I'm just using a little tiny crescent wrench. Because I want to check, okay, very delicate. I just want to check and see if that wire is trying to get through there. I'll set that down. Now I'm going to try and feed the wire out. Oh, there it is, see, yep, right there. It was stuck on the tip. So that might have to, you might have to take the tip off. So now I'm just going to manually feed that down through there. Screw that back into place. Put this back on. It's probably good. And there it is. Do you see it? coming out the end there. Okay. Okay, we're back. The welder, I assume, is set up and ready to go. I put it underneath this table. I've seen videos of people welding on plywood. I know you could have a welding table, but I didn't choose to purchase that. I made this table, and I think putting a piece of plywood on top should be fine. Let's talk about what I have here, what I bought and what I've kind of found. I already had a wire brush, and I know that's important for, you know, clean up and cleaning up your welds. I've seen guys use that. I found this in the barn. Yeah. So glad I didn't throw it away, because this is for cleaning off the gunk. I'm just going to call it gunk. After you make a weld, there's crust on it, and this is helpful for cleaning that up. I've seen guys using that. So, hey, there it is. I got a wire brush attachment for my angle grinder, so I can take the paint off of things, because when you make a weld, you don't want paint there. I've learned all of this just by watching other videos, so this is all in one now. By the way, I'm not sponsored by Dewalt, and I am not sponsored by YesWelder. Important information. I should have said that at the beginning of the video. I am not sponsored by anybody. So all of this stuff is just, I looked at customer reviews and bought stuff according to my budget. So then I have some of these. I got these magnets, which, wow, are they strong. Oh my goodness. So anyway, you're supposed to use these magnets to hold things in place while you weld. So got some magnets. And finally, PPE, welding gloves. I figured that was important. I've got lots of kinds of gloves, but got actual welding gloves and a welding apron. This is a leather apron. Now I have a canvas apron that I use for splitting wood and working down at the barns, but I'm figuring with electricity and sparks and heat, that canvas apron probably wouldn't do it. So I got a decent leather apron. So I got that, and then I got a auto darkening welding helmet. I got the helmet out, read the instructions, and started to set it up. I'm gonna give you a really quick overview on this. There's an adjustment knob on the outside that's setting how dark it's gonna get, the amount of darkness once it auto darkens. On the inside here, there are two knobs. One is for sensitivity, and one determines how quickly it goes back to after it darkens, it goes back to light. So it gives it a little bit of a delay to protect your eyes. So I set that to maximum. If it annoys me, I'll change it. Then for most applications, the sensitivity knob can be set at about 30 to 50%. There is protective film on the inside glass and on the outside glass. Simply peel that off. So then of course there's some adjustments on the helmet for the back and on the sides. Okay, yeah, let's put the gloves on. Ooh, those are thick. I should wear these for winter, man. These are nice. Okay, here we go. There's no going back now. So this is all set up. I'm going to take those, yeah, it's nice and smooth. Got all the paint off of there. From what I've seen, people usually put a little tack weld on, and then they can remove their magnets and do the rest of their weld. This needs to be attached somewhere. Oh, it only opens a little bit. I guess I'll do it right up here. Wow. I'm nervous. I'm still nervous. Oh, gloves. Gloves. Woo, hello. Did something. All right, let's do a little weld back here. I don't know if it actually held or not. Try again. There's something there. I'm going to do the other side too. Huh. Okay. It doesn't look like there's anything at all holding that. I just see a lot of spatter. Let's try this side again. Well, there's material there now. It ain't pretty. Let's see if it stays. Yeah, something happened. Metal is attached to metal. That's exciting. That's pretty cool. All right, so now I'm going to try and do a full weld. Now I've seen some techniques where they just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's what I'm going to try. Uh-oh. Well, that's a lot of weld. You know, if it holds it, then I'm good. I think I'm going to start in this corner and come out to the end. The technique I was talking about that I'm using, I'm just kind of going back and forth, and I'm just filling the gap with weld as I go the best I can, trying to keep it even, trying to keep it steady. Once again, I have never done this before, so just the fact that this isn't falling off is really, really exciting to me. So here we go. Try on the next one. Yeah, that's ugly. That's ugly. Oh, I'm doing the best I can. So I think I'm going to try and come from up here and down. And I need to get the front of this. Well, time to test it. I don't expect this to hold. try torquing it. Okay, let's try it this way. Come on. Huh? That ain't going anywhere. I want to make some key points about what I learned after this. First of all of that stuff in putting the welder together, I hope you got something out of that, because I ran into some really weird stuff, like not plugging that wire in like I was supposed to, and I just didn't know. You know, I've never done this before, and it wasn't in the instructions specifically, so had to call my friend and get that figured out. The other things about technique, so you're supposed to drag the wire, not push the wire. I know that. I tried to do that as best I could. These welds on this side are way better than the ones down here at the bottom. I turned the amperage down. I should have just left it all the way up. I was worried that the wire was coming out too fast. I just have to get my technique down better so that I'm, you know, applying the weld at the speed that the wire's coming out, because it needs to be all the way up for that. It did a much better job when it was all the way up than it did when it wasn't. So as far as the equipment's concerned, gloves, yep, absolutely need gloves. The spatter's everywhere, so yes, you definitely need to have an apron or something to protect your clothing. I made sure I moved all of the cars out of the garage before I did that. There's nothing flammable around. Those things are very important. Safety, safety, safety. The helmet, I had the darkness set a little bit high. I figured I could always go backwards rather than, you know, burn my eyeballs out. So I had it set a little bit too dark, so I adjusted that. A little frustration with breathing. The lenses fog up when I'm breathing inside that. Maybe you guys, you welders that have done this for a while, experience that too. If you have any pointers or tips, let me know. But I'm gonna have to try and change my breathing, or maybe open just not have it as close to my face. I don't know, I'll figure that out too. But that was probably the biggest challenge, was seeing the weld to knowing what I was doing. And then of course, knowing what technique to make it right. So that I will get down the road. The biggest thing about it is I did it, and I'm excited about it. So I'm gonna do it again. So I hope that I really help somebody out there. That was entirely the point of this video, is to help somebody out there that's thinking about it and wants to try it. So if you got something out of this, please give me a like and hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. We're growing really fast, and I really love to see more and more subscribers every day. It just really makes it worthwhile to do this. So anyway, once again, I appreciate you coming by, and we will see you next time when I'm doing more stuff, and probably welding more stuff. Catch you then.